Hey, what is up guys? Matt Cooper here, aka MODC Architecture, and welcome back to another video. Now, I've been on another long hiatus while I've been doing my final year of my Masters. I had to prioritise that over making YouTube content, unfortunately, but we're now back to pretty much the end of the year. Things are sort of winding down, and we're getting towards that final push for our final presentation. So I thought I'd take you through what I did for my penultimate presentation. This is just in preparation with a jury of internal and external assessors, I guess, just to double check that everything's going well and things are in order for the final presentation. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, here we go. My name is Matthew Cooper, and my project is called Reclaiming the Ghost Cityscape. I am looking into architectural scenarios to reclaim ghost cities. The recycling and upgrade of concrete structures from these cities will alter the city skeleton to suggest a new material-based approach. Form, which uses materials that help achieve carbon neutrality, has not yet been sufficiently explored in my opinion. The project will communicate concrete's potential in reclaiming cities and thus preventing the mass demolition of decaying of undervalued typologies. These victimized spaces can be intervened and revised for typological change. The project commenced with a critical analysis of Nimmer Studios' Middle-earth, where they speculate on climate-related issues using theatrical sets. The project visually represented their work on the global consequences of material use. The project endeavoured to understand the complexities of moving material from extraction through to construction, driving an investigation into the global displacement of timber, steel and concrete. Further scrutiny will demonstrate the repercussions of abandoning a city. Globally, sand mining, tree felling and ore mining are major components to produce urban structural materials. Material travel is standardised in the construction industry, and to reduce impacts of needless intercontinental material displacement, the localisation of raw material extraction and construction needs to be promoted. The project theorised the appearance of a city that uses raw material from the local vicinity. In the case of timber, it is commonly used due to carbon-related issues. However, in steel and concrete, large construction typologies and speed to rapidly grow a city are the focus. The selected material of interest for this project is concrete due to its continuous use. In the scenario of altering the skeleton of a nondescript city through a material-based approach, it was vital to develop an understanding of concrete trade globally. The project argues for intercontinentally imported material to be eradicated and use the potentially more expensive localized alternative. The removal of this standardized idea of importing concrete intercontinentally will lead to a sustainable benefit, as the project not only wants to demonstrate the ability to transform an abandoned city through the use of material, but wants to reinforce the potential for a more sustainable approach when using the material. The main purpose of my research is to question concrete in the context of a speculative project on an urban transition from an economically beneficial megaproject to a composite ghost city. The term ghost city is applicable to many situations, such as reduced need for mining or overinvestment in housing. The project will analyse an abandoned ghost city through cinematic scenarios and propose an alternative future where utilising modern technologies will allow for an architectural insertion to shift typologies within moments in the city. It is vital the project reflects the potential for ghost city sites to be adapted for future use. The project has focused on symptomatic precedents of these cities in Eastern Asia. Ordos is a derelict city that was created to shift the economy of China from agricultural to urbanised through a boost in the housing market. The government relocated a top school in China, thus people had to move. The displacement of people was a political decision striving for economic growth. However, there is still an emptiness which needs to be filled, with much of the city still abandoned. The project will generate a speculative urban scenario and form a solution to a problem which appears through investment for economic growth. Furthermore, it was in need of future adaptation with an alternative typology to the residential or these alternative moments. In 50 years, population growth is predicted to increase by 2.4 billion. It is paramount for future rapid growth cities to have a typological balance in urban dynamics between mass residential districts and alternative sets of programs from reusing decaying sites. The project questions the potential for reusing concrete structures in the city in the future. Is concrete a failing material? Or can the reuse of concrete building sites be the focal point of reurbanisation? When implemented in the city, what spaces should it be applied to? These questions will allow the project to argue for itself as a contributing source to alter material use and design alternative spaces in the city. I have formed a three-level speculation, which are on a material level, a typological level, and on a city level. The development of a cross-typological space is an ambition to drive the inhabitation of the project's nondescript city. My film allowed me to balance the chaos of the city in a hierarchical order to investigate emerging typologies. This exploration allowed the project to identify space that is inhabitable in the juxtaposition of the planet city and its reverse with abandonment as its highlighted use. These cities accommodate dense living conditions, however are problematic with their application to and reusing empty spaces. The project focused on the planet city as a framework to develop an identification for extra low density and what emptiness and abandonment can potentially offer for architecture in a nondescript ghost city future scenario. The project focuses on the adaptation of moments within a nondescript city. The nature of the placement of the space in a site that needs recycling and repair will advocate for the extension of our knowledge regarding the malleability and potential for concrete interventions that intersect, bore, and carve new space into existing buildings. The form and structure of the city will alter through a series of interventions. The project proposes that it would need new core, atria, internal divisions for the new typologies planned for the intervened moments. The project will take a similar approach to the Heatherwick project in South Africa of using structural concrete reinforcement to make circulation space for visitors and alternate the typology within the reused space. Furthermore, using advanced drone technology, the drones would create a 3D scan where it could geolocate weak structural points and intervene with them. The project is aiming to alter typological moments in a nondescript city, using concrete to infiltrate its structural system and morph into an entertainment space. As time passes, the city will decay and debris will fall over time. This is a problem cities will face in years to come. However, moving away from contexts that demonstrate this pragmatic issue that many locations are facing globally, the city needs a solution to its abandonment. It needs to be decayed enough to require a reinvention and reinforcement of moments that span across a multitude of abandoned typologies. Preceding the discovery of these moments, an intervention and typological shift would be valid to reinvent and repurpose areas of the city to attract people to the reiteration of the city. The city's projected spaces will rely on the recycling process to be able to synthesize debris from the city with the new concrete material. The intervention should be strategized to intervene with the architecture in such a way that an intrusive architectural language is formed. The creation of these moments depend on the technology of the future. With the condition they are currently in, the moments would be impossible to reinforce and intervene with under current regulation. Furthermore, it would be possible to, with future technology, developments in AI, geolocating and drone technology. The abandoned city consists of a multitude of abandoned buildings and is a vast wasteland of potential space. Therefore, the project's architectural spaces aim to collide with, intersect with, bore and carve into areas presented by the office, residential, car park and transport spaces, allowing the specific programs to be demonstrated but not limited to, for example, reservation for museum spaces or art gallery spaces or any sort of space associated with entertainment so that it may depict a reiterated semi-abandoned future city. Ultimately, the project must convey moments that have been developed so that their skeleton is altered to reform a ghost city to be reclaimed as a metropolis. The project must convey the crossover of typologies to develop the quality of a public space as a new intervention. The typological shift will construct political and economic scenarios by offering the adaptive reuse of cities with environmental benefits to the city being reactivated. However, due to the speculative nature of the project, the proposed solution has its practical limitations. Additionally, focusing on a local system of material production has not been realised. The project aims to be a set of typological experiments deriving from the adaptation of a rapid growth city, which will fluctuate to test the quality of public space in the crossover of typologies. The potential for the project to convey these tests successfully lies in demonstrating the new cores, atria, internal divisions, and links to infrastructural systems with both formal and technical investigation. Thank you everyone so much for listening, and please do comment on your thoughts on this presentation, whether you thought that it was good, bad, too long, too short, or whether you thought I needed to go into a bit more detail. I'll do another video explaining the intricacies of the project, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this snippet of what my project has been this year, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much, and have an awesome day.